Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We just finished manuring the field. So now, I need to put my plow face on. And I'm going to have to ascend and plow the top field. So I'm going to grab the Jack Bear for that, because I like the way the Jack Bear handles better when we're plowing. The wheels are narrower, so it's a better plow tractor, because it doesn't get its front wheels stuck in the furrow. Up. I want to get all these fields on the same playing field. Wait, yeah, you know what I mean. We'll fill this up. And leave that there. Ugh. What did I do? I put the Jack Bear away, I think. Hey, James. Meow. James loves me, but James needs a fish. Shoot, we need to go catch a fish. Now that I know where he's at, I'll get a fish for James. And then we'll go plow. Use fishing rod. James is a cat. Meow. Shot. Let's see, try to get where they merge, right about there. Bloop. Oh, it's a little closer in, but we'll catch somebody. Come back, little fishies. No problem whatsoever. We've got this fish in the bag. Or should I say in the net? There we go, fish plus one. And we're gonna not eat the fish. Well, we've got a lot done today, so that's good. James. Oh, he left. Oh, James. I brought you a treat. I want him to have heart eyes for me. Because if he really loves me, he's got little hearty eyes. Oh, there he is. James. Here, kitty. Good little gooder. Let's see. It says... Now he should have heart eyes. Oh, he loves me. Catch those mice, James. Good mouse. Catcher. Mouser? Mouser? Good little mouser. All right, honey, I'm off to the upper fields. And the next step after this is cultivation. Well, the next step is manuring. I missed. But see how this has those narrow front wheels? That helps you with the plowing a little bit. And I know I plow wrong. Everyone's like, you're plowing wrong. I do it for speed's sake. But what we are doing is, by doing this, you're pushing all the dirt to the outside of the field. I know that. You're supposed to push it across the field. Which means with this one-way plow, you really have to do laps, is what you're supposed to be doing with it. I'll show you how you're supposed to do it. We'll do it the right way this time. It's going to take longer, though. But with a unidirectional plow, you plow one direction. I know that sounds silly or whatever, but it takes a lot longer. Not a lot longer, but it takes longer, and you'll see why. Wait, I'm doing it the wrong side. Already I started wrong. Well, we'll finish this run, but then we'll flip around. You want to start going the other way, and I'll show you why. That deeper divot allows you to, you're supposed to follow that with your left wheel. All right, so the correct way is this way. See how the divot's on the wrong side? So we'll run this way. We just keep running this way. You only run one direction on the field. Now, each year you reverse it. So 1 year or one crop plowing, you'll run this way. And then the other way, you'll start on the other side of the field and run the other way. That way you're always pushing the dirt back and forth across the field rather than either digging it out from the center or digging from the outside to the inside. Now, if you have a flippable plow, you can go back and forth. But with the one-way plow, you have to do it this way if you're going to play it realistically. So we'll do this realistically this time. It only takes a little bit longer. So we lift, and we're going to just go back around. Yep, and that's how you do it. That's why it takes longer, because you're only plowing one pass. You don't go back and forth. You can only go one direction. So that is how this plow really works, and it's a pain in the butt. That's why I don't do it like this when I do it. I usually go down the middle and then plow out from the middle. But that will eventually ruin your fields in real life. You don't want to do that. So in the game it won't, but in real life you're pushing dirt away from the center of your field, and so that we get that little wheel lined up and we just follow it along. I know the wheel's supposed to be in the ditch, but the way the game works, it's better off. You're better off not doing that. So yes, I am aware. I had somebody yelling at me on one of the other ones like, that's not how you plow a field. I know it's not. But with these one-way plows, it's faster to go the way that I was doing it, but it's not realistic. This is the realistic way to do it. So, pain in the butt, but. And this is why you want the crops. You want a bigger. If you're going to do more than what I've got farm-wise, that's why I'm glad we have the greenhouse going, because we'll have the funds hopefully in the next year or two to buy some big equipment and do this a lot more efficiently. And then we can expand field-wise, but right now we don't really have a need for expansion. It'll be interesting to see how much the harvest brings us this year. We're going to go for the highest value crop, which I think was beans. I don't remember what I bought seed for, but he's working hard. I mean, it actually gets the field done pretty quick. I mean, look how much we've gotten done already. But it is just faster to go the other way. But the field looks nicer when you're done this way, because everything's nice and flat. As long as you stay along the line there, it keeps it nice and smooth. So, all right, guys, I'm going to keep doing this. I'll catch you a little bit later on in the day or tomorrow. It depends on how long it takes me to get this done. But I'll get the field the rest of the way plowed, and then I will see you on the flip side when we manure it. And then we need to cultivate it, so we've got some work to do still. And then we can start seeding all of our fields. So I will see you in a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, I have finished plowing this field. It took 2 days in the game. About an hour and a half in real life. That is a chore. I'll tell you what, it'd be nice to get a bigger plow going. Really 1 day, but it took overnight. You know, we started in the afternoon yesterday, and it took until now to get it finished. So we are going to park the plow, and I need to get up there with the manure and get it manured. Then all these fields need cultivation. So the rest of it we'll be doing with the IMT, so I'm going to clean this tractor up and put it away. But we're pretty much done using this one for now. Come on. So let's go wash this guy up. How are we doing on fuel? Yeah, 13%. Well, I'm glad I checked. I wonder what happens. If you're out, I guess you have to tow it, don't you? So we're going to wash the refuel the vehicle. And again, we're going to wash it. There we go. So our John Deere tractor is all, our Jack Bear tractor is all done being cleaned, and she's ready to be put away. Tractor for a while. Put it away. Everything's looking good. Let's check the beehives and see if they got anything in them. Man, I am so sniffly today. I apologize. Ah. Jars of Honey. Sounds like a Christian band. Jars of Milk and Honey. Let's see. So one had it. It seems like some have it and some don't. And it's kind of randomized as to which ones have the honey and which ones don't. But they don't all have honey. Nope. One of those daily routine things. It's funny that we have this fence around the house, but then like the back is open. There's no, like people can still get in and out. No, just one jar of honey. Well, that's that. All right, so let's get in the IMT or EMT or whatever, born. And we're going to get up on there and manure that field. Now, eventually, we'll probably refurbish this tractor, too. Once we get a modern tractor, I plan on refurbing both of these tractors. Well, the one is done, but we'll take this one and make it nice. Because it will no longer be doing yard duty. The main duties will go to the modern tractor, and these will stay on the farm as, like, museum pieces. But it's still working in running condition, so we might as well just keep it going. It's funny all the different tractor designs and how they have different wheel setups and stuff like that. It's pretty neat. All right, so I'm going to do stripey pattern. And we're going to go ahead and start the manuring now. Or not. I did right button Y instead of A. Okay. And we definitely have enough manure left for this field. We'll probably have enough in our cow pasture for one more field if we ever buy another one. And then after that, I don't know. We're going to have to get Fertex, which has both manure and fertilizer in it for anything above and beyond what the cows produce, because at some point we'll be draining that thing out every year. It's got 35,000 liters in it right now. I think it holds like 50. And we need to use it twice a year, so we'll see. I don't know. I mean, maybe. You can't sell manure in this game, unfortunately, which it's a shame because we could make some money. But this type of, what do they call this, slurry or whatever, I know there's too much of it. Like I know farmers are always trying to get rid of it, and they get in trouble for dumping it in places and stuff in Europe and in America. It's kind of a forbidden liquid. Something that gets farmers into trouble. But because it's really bad. I mean, it causes, the issue is that it runs off to local water sources. And fertilizer does too, and it causes like algae blooms. And then what happens is all the life in the pond, the algae takes all the oxygen, and then all the fish die. So you gotta watch the blooms. We have that a lot of local lakes here get that, and they have a warning system now for the state of Ohio that, you know, shows you like good, bad, and ugly, where you can and can't go. And the lakes have a flag system. You check the flag and see where it's at to see if it's safe to touch the water or swim in the water. And if it's above, I think there's red, which means that it could be dangerous, and then black, which means like you will get sick if you swim here. So I know with slurry, that's one of the things that you can't just let it run off. You have to make sure you dispose of it properly, or it can cause local problems. So I know they're working on that, but it's, I don't know what you do if you were a farmer and you had all this extra wee-wee. Like manure, yes. Slurry, no. One of those things that farmers have to deal with. So, not being a farmer myself, I don't know. I know if we do this horse farm thing that I've been talking about, that my wife wants to do, we'll have manure, probably a lot of it, and we'll have to figure out how to handle getting rid of it. I know people will buy it and use it, but I'm sure if we have a lot of horses, we'll have more than we know what to do with. How do you like them apples? I always wonder. Actually, I'm thinking about that now. I'm like, wonder what farms do with a horse farm. Like, if you muck out the stables, what do they do with it? I'm sure they probably put it in the pile, but you sell it to local farmers. Or load it in a truck and sell it. Delivering manure to a country near you. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get this done. I will catch you y'all in just a moment. Well, we manured all night, and now we're done. We're back at the farm. We're going to grab the harrow and go into stage 3 of our field work. And I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and get the dirt turned over. You can remove the furrows that you've made with this device. If you find that you're driving around in the grass, and see how those furrows go all the way into the grass, you can use this to remove those too if you just drive it on the grass. So we'll get this all done. The cultivating doesn't take quite as long as the plowing and the manure spreading. And I'm really digging this big tractor for this. This is where it comes into its own. Where the John Deere does better plowing, this is a better cultivating tractor. And in fact, I think I'm going to go back and run a pass on the grass here. Lift it. And we'll do one more pass over here. Because this ground, as you can see here, I've run off the ground a little bit. We'll do it at the other end of the field, too. Some of these are really long. Jeez. Now you'll notice when this does this, it actually works as a mower. Because it just rips up the grass and the plants. It's kind of cool. Hay fever. Oh, look out, Piggy. Don't want to get stuck under these tines. So I've started a weight loss program. Basically, it consists of not eating any bread or dessert. I'm still having coffee with a little bit of sugar because I have to have coffee. Can't live without that. But I've way cut back my intake of desserts and breads and stuff like that. And I've already lost, in 1 week, I lost 10 pounds. I got a long way to go. My goal is to get down into the 250 range. I'll be much skinnier then. Maybe even lower if I can, but I don't think. I don't know. We'll see. But I need to change my life. I don't want to end up, you know, my mom was very overweight, and obviously we think she passed away because of some kind of stroke or heart attack, and I don't want to do that. I want to live. I got a lot of kids. I got a lot to live for. And my wife, you know, obviously, and, you know, life has many adventures left, and I want to live those adventures. And I don't want some stupid decision that I made to continue to eat like a pig ruin that chance. So have fun once in a while, but in general, I'm going to eat healthy and definitely had more greens and make that my primary diet. And I'm enjoying it, actually. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. But yet it still doesn't help the allergies. I may use this to mow the whole yard once I'm done doing all this. Use the little mower for the farmyard and use this for the around the fields. Whoops, wrong button. Once again, that farm sim button combination kicking in. Whoops. Once again, I'm trying to flatten all this out. I was playing Flight Sim the other night. I bought a Seattle scenery pack. Some of the new scenery, some of the older scenery packs that I have didn't really affect Flight Sim much, but the newer one, for whatever reason, there's some newer ones that really are causing some slowdown with the game. And so I've had to change some settings on my game. I have it set on Ultra, but then I backed a couple of the shadow settings off, and that seems to work. But anyway, I was flying around Seattle. I thought it was pretty cool. I had been out there a couple of years ago, and if you guys watch the video I have called American Truck Simulator in Real Life, I actually went to Seattle, and I videotaped myself driving around a bit, and you'll see some of the footage of this apartment building. Well, it's actually in the real scenery from Seattle. I thought that was awesome. I'm like, oh my gosh, there it is. Like, it had the same lobby and everything. I'm like, that's the apartment building I photographed. How cool is that it's in Flight Sim. Neat stuff. I know when you harrow, you're not really supposed to turn corners when you're harrowing. You can. Actually, that's not true. I've seen farmers. I saw one farmer that he had a drag behind harrow, and he was just driving in circles around the field, like he was making big circles. So I know for plowing, you got to keep the line straight. You wouldn't be turning when you're plowing, but you see how quickly this is going already. So it's not too bad. Not too much work. Good screenshot moment here. Wait, I missed a spot. Oh, why isn't that working there? Huh. To fix that. Will it go if I go this way? Yeah, that's getting it. We'll go back. It's pulling a little bit. So anyway, we should be able to plant tomorrow. Plant. Because I'm going to work pretty much all day on this and get this hammered out. The sun just came up and we've just got these, these two little fields and the one big field to get done. And I think, we'll get that done in one day. It might take a second day, but for the next episode, we'll get into the actual planting day, and we'll see what we're going to plant. I can't remember what. I think it's just beans or peas. We'll look at the market and see what's the hot thing, and we'll go for that, whatever the high-priced item is. Not that it's all about money, but we do want to make some money. So, money, 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 money. Anyway, this is this is the other farming game. I think we've had several farming games come out. 3 of them stick out. Actually, 4. We have Cattle and Crops, the game that almost had a chance at toppling Giants Farm Sim. Same idea, a little different. Game is still being worked on, so it's hard to say if it's going to be better or not. Already from a graphic standpoint, it's not as good. Farm Sim 19 is sharper, smoother. That's not to say that Cattle and Crops is bad. Cattle and Crops is kind of like graphically somewhere between Farm Sim 17 and Farm Sim 19. But things where it's better. Tractors spin in the dirt and stuff like that. There's water on the fields after a rainstorm, and they get muddy, and it gets hard to work the fields. So it's coming along. It's not anywhere near being done, but it's. I think they've considered it released at this point, but I haven't stuck much with it. It's like one more thing I don't have time for on my channel, but I would like to get into it eventually. It does look like a good game. But that's one that stands out as kind of like the, honorable mention. Not that there's any really real winners or losers, because they're each different types of games. Then you have Farm Sim, of course, which is primarily it's an equipment grind, is what it is. You buy a farm, you try to make money, you upgrade to bigger equipment so that you can, you want to farm well, so that you can buy bigger equipment to farm more. To buy bigger equipment to farm more, and it's all about the equipment, the brands, the licensing, the look, and that really is Farm Sim from Giants in a nutshell. And it's a good product. It's a great product, and I still play it sometimes just to play it. I've done a lot of Farm Sim. You get a little burned out after a while, but. I still enjoy the game, and I do play it quite frequently. I've got a little Rolmashawo farm that I still play by myself. And, of course, Alpine Farm we're continuing. And I've got other farms that I'm not deleting yet, but I just don't have time for right now in my life. Hopefully coming back to, like, the brewery and stuff like that. Like, I've had fun with that. And that has a lot of potential to be so much more. But the time to put into it I don't have right now. Then you have this game, which is not necessarily about the branding. There is some branding in the game, but it's limited. It's not about the physics or the realistic farming necessarily, though this game has something that both Cattle and Crops promised but never really achieved, and Farm Sim never has achieved, and that is deformable 3D terrain. Now, you're stuck with the fields that you have. You can't make new fields. But obviously, as we're seeing here from this, we are resurfacing the ground, and there's divots and stuff where we were plowing. So this game actually has some things that none of the other farm simulators have yet. Once again, Cattle and Crop said they're going to have this, but they don't yet. It's still just texture. This is the first farm sim game that actually has, you know, ruts and divots, and you have to, the terrain gets deformed. So kudos to Farm Expert and Farmer's Dynasty, because really this game is the stepchild of Farm Expert 16 and 17. And so Farm Expert kind of like put together, you know, I forget the guy's name now, it's been years, but there's some dude that programmed all this stuff, you know, for Farm Expert and did a great job. It was buggy, like this can be buggy, but it had just more, that was the first game to have a calendar year, which none of the other ones have. And actually, that's not true. Cattle and Crop has a calendar year, too. Farm Sim does with seasons, but it doesn't default. Anyway, this game is much less about the equipment and much more about actual farming, being a farmer. And especially this game. This is, you know, Farmer's Dynasty, even over Farm Expert, ties in that, like, getting married, having kids, being part of a community. This really becomes your farm, and I love that about this game. You can, once again, we've taken the houses, and I'm going to do some more changes too. I don't like the cow barn. I want to put brick back on that, and I think I want to re-brick the lower level of the house. But my point is, you can make it any way that you want it. It really becomes your house. It's like Burger King, my way, right away at Farmer's Dynasty now. So I really appreciate that about this game, and I think that they've, you know, really done something unique here that none of the other farm sims offer. Even though the equipment's very limited and stuff, this is definitely more the real life farming experience. It's not about the equipment, it's about life as a farmer. In fact, I think this is the only farming game that's achieved that. It's a real life simulator, kind of like Minecraft, but, well, not Minecraft, but I don't know. It's a life simulator. It's more than just, anyway, great job. Kudos to the developers of this game, because it really is, I think, the best overall farming game. And I know people are going to disagree with that, but I think from an actual gameplay standpoint, this is much more what farming is really like. Once again, it's limited to certain types of farming, but it is definitely more of what real farming is like. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of, you got a calendar year you got to worry about. You got a market that you got to watch. This is great. This stuff is excellent. And then of course, you've got Farm Manager, and the new one's coming out, and we'll cover it on the channel. They've already changed it. I used to play Farm Manager 18, which I think then became like 19 or 21 or something. I don't know, 20. Great product. That one's kind of a sort of a SimCity-like game. Now, I'm not a big, you know, SimCity player type. Like, I don't do those type of games. So, but the first one was pretty easy to follow. The new one has some new features that are definitely more SimCity-like, and it throws me off a little bit because I don't play those kind of games. But I'll get them figured out. But the new one's coming. We'll definitely be covering that on our channel quite a bit. But that's called Farm Manager once again, and the new one is called Farm Manager 2021. I think the old one's 2018. Just an excellent game once again, but much more from a overall standpoint, like of just kind of playing the manager that tells the workers what to do on the farm and stuff. And they use a lot of the same tractor models that this game uses. And Farm Expert, there's a series of like generic tractors that they use, and they all kind of share that same generic tractor. So, whoa, slippage. Anyway, so thanks again, guys, for putting up with my stuffiness. I apologize once again. I hate recording when I'm stuffed up, but I'm going to be stuffed up for the next 6 months until I get, or hopefully less, but until I get this house taken care of and sold. unfortunately, this is what it's going to be like. So I apologize, guys. I'll try my best to do it on nights when I'm not stuffed up, but today just happened to be a good day to record. But unfortunately, I'm stuffed up. So anyway. All right, guys, I'm going to go. I'm going to get these fields done. They'll be ready for planting. We'll start that in the next episode. So have a great night. Be sure to subscribe. Thumbs up always help, and we will see you next time on Farmers Dynasty. Bye, everybody. Good night.